the Next Level Contractor Podcast.
Yeah, I'm talking about Mountain Dews, baby.
We're coming at you every Monday at 7 a.m. No bullshit. 30 minutes or less.
And just get all fat and sassy.
And we're helping small businesses and construction companies be more profitable with better leads and better systems.
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
And today, I have my guest, Dmitry Lipinskiy. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir.
Of Roofing Insights. Many of you probably know him if you're in roofing. And today we're talking about guaranteed leads companies, and whether you should use them. I actually don't even know Dmitry's point of view on this yet. So we're just running and gunning with this podcast. I have some opinions, but I certainly want to hear wins too,
Sure.
of if you've ever used any. Hey, are there legitimate ones out there? What is your take on this idea of guaranteed leads, particularly for roofing companies?
I don't think there is guaranteed leads by most companies. Some people use it to get foot in the door. So I absolutely hate the sales pitch of guaranteed leads.
Yeah.
Because nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's almost you have to ask for fine print right away. Because leads are leads, but quality of leads are quality of leads. And what I mean by that is everybody, it's just like in the marketing in general. You have impressions, you have calls. Like for example, we have the worst category of not category, but source of leads is telemarketing leads when people call, right?
Yeah.
So it's guaranteed. Yeah, of course. You know, you have appointment, but is it really guaranteed when you show up and no one's there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might refund me. You might replace it with a better lead. But if you give me 10 guaranteed leads, and I only have met 2 homeowners, what happened to the other 8? You wasted my time 8 times out of 10. So this is just one example. So they sell. Actually, there's telemarketing companies who have names guaranteed in their name, like guaranteed leads. Something like telemarketing or storm leads, guaranteed, whatever. So they give you 10 leads, guaranteed, and then it's too much legwork for you to try to make it work.
It reminds me of Home Advisor and some of these other companies that do this thing where it's like, hey, it's this many dollars for a lead, whether the quality is absolute shit and you're competing with other people a lot of times on that lead or not. So I kind of associate it with that, and you and I both feel a certain way about Home Advisor. I've seen a lot of contractors get ripped off by them, a lot of people angry. We did a blog post on our blog, and the amount of comments, they just keep on coming in of people saying, don't use Home Advisor. Now, I have a little bit of a spicy take on that.
Sure.
I think we should talk about this briefly on this podcast, because it's an interesting thing. Sometimes I think it's the contractor's fault.
Sure.
Sometimes we expect too much of a system like that. So I want to kind of say an alternative to what you and I both believe, which is, hey, Home Advisor is a little shisty, maybe a lot shisty. We believe they're ripping off a lot. I like how you
say it's shisty.
Shisty.
It's a very nice way to say you're corrupt, shady, you shouldn't be in business, but I'll take it shisty.
Yeah, but let's just say this, like, if you were expecting, that's the thing, the expectations of a certain channel, right? If I basically think contractors should know better at this point than to go to a company like Home Advisor, or even, How's Angie's List, go down the line. I think that a lot of these, they're not going to do it for you all the way, and maybe you expected too much. I will say, I have a friend that has gotten some decent results with Home Advisor, but he has very low expectations, and he doesn't want to build this brand.
Here's where I disagree on the whole concept of expectations. So marketer, especially those who use a lot of gimmicks, you can always say, you didn't read the fine print, you set your expectations too high, right? And it's one way to look at it, and marketers always use it. When you didn't deliver results, like, we didn't promise it, nobody can guarantee. But here's the thing, for me, I am customer service, customer always right guy. So for me, let's say I'm a roofer, you're a homeowner. If I sell you a job, I made you a promise. Like, you have expectations. I can't come back like, well, you didn't expect us to pick all nails Like we removed 2,000 else from you. Were like, are you
Yeah.
reasonable?
Yes.
No, customer always right.
Yes.
So you have to consider promise the marketing company's
Yeah.
name. So when you see Home Advisor commercial, it's like we have the best contractors, and when they call you, what do they say? They mislead you. Like we have 50 leads. So expectations comes from the promise.
That's good.
And customer always right. If you call me and say, Dmitry, our average is 1 out of 10 leads you actually will talk to.
Yeah.
Okay. And now I have expectation. But they don't tell you that. So when you lie to the customer, which is I'm a customer, they're a provider, and you set up, who sets up expectations? Customer's always right. For me, I always side with the contractor. I can't just go like, well, your expectations were too high. Well, why they're too high?
Because they made a big promise.
Exactly.
I can get on board with that. So I just want to kind of like talk about the alternative. Certainly, from my point of view, contractors do need to get more responsible.
Sure.
With the amount of, basically the amount of responsibility that they take in their own marketing systems. We believe you should own your marketing. You should never put that totally on another company because, no offense, I care. I do care. We want to do the best thing for contractors. But at the same time, I'm always going to care about my business more than your business, no matter who I am running a marketing company or if they're, whoever at whatever company. So you have to take some responsibility. And I do think that comes across in the amount of like effort you're putting forward on like social media, because that's something I think contractors should be handling themselves. And I think there's a lot more opportunity to handle that yourself because you're out there in the field. You can do behind the scenes, before and afters. You're just always there.
There's one more piece
Yeah.
to expectations and why companies like Home Advisor screw themselves. I believe, and I always say it for years, Angie's List was the closest out of all platforms to understand both consumer and contractor, and that's what we're doing with the directory too. And what was it is they were targeting top 5% of contractors. Mm-hmm. So the problems with the Home Advisor and a lot of companies who offer leads, guaranteed leads, they target the wrong contractor. Mm-hmm. So if you target contractor who is a hack, who is not branding, who doesn't have receptionist, you have to be also picky who you work with. Yeah. If you homeowner who is do-it-yourselfer, you want to do everything yourself, and you just want to buy shingle and buy labor from me, you're not a homeowner for me. I can't really do good service for you because there's not enough profit margin for me. I make money by managing materials, managing crew, doing everything, and I have little margin, but this is why I'm so good. Now, if you call me and say you want to take materials out of occasion, it's already there, you just want to pay me labor, which is like 1/3 of the project, right? So now, I don't know if you're a customer for me, or if you want to do the job for half the price. So a lot of contractors should not be even hiring agency. The problem with the Home Advisor, they let anyone on the platform. Yeah. And just listen.
Maybe it's because the really good contractors are already wise to their shit.
Yeah, true. But that's the problem. Now you have contractors who are shady themselves, who don't know how to answer their phone call. Yeah. But then you have and you're promising them that you have leads for them, which are shady leads. It's a bad combination. So Angie's List used to be really good when it was 3 million homeowners there, which is 1% of population. Average credit score is 750. So great audience. And you have top 5% of contractors who really care about customer service and reviews. You could not be on the first page of Angie's List unless you were good match. What happened? IEC buys them, they open the gates like, okay, everybody's welcome now. So now you have 100 million homeowners, and now you have...
To be clear, for people who didn't know, that Home Advisor's parent company, right, bought them.
And that's how you ruin exclusive service that actually good, that matches top 1% with top 1%. Now it's everybody with everybody. Now you made Craigslist for yourself. Now it's classified ads. It's just free market.
Exactly, and I think that kind of happens to everybody, it seems like. So
marketers ruin everything.
Yeah.
Marketers ruin Facebook. Yeah. Facebook in the beginning was good. Yeah. You guys gonna all ruin it because now everyone and their mother and sister and brother can do ads. Everybody's a marketer these days. Yeah. So now how many Facebook gurus you know? Yeah. Every teenager, instead of working in the trades or in the business, he would rather do some ads.
And I think Facebook and cold calling are two of the main methods that the guaranteed leads company, a lot of them use. They're using those kind of methods. They're also using, which I find a little weird, they do like a rent and rank model where they'll make sure that something, or rank and rent, excuse me. They'll make a landing page rank for a certain area and then they'll like rent it out to contractors because they're good at getting it found on Google.
Do you want to hear the story how one marketer using Craigslist almost cost me $100K?
Tell me about it.
So our work comp insurance not collapsed, so it didn't renew, and we didn't get notification. So in order to be in business in Minneapolis, you have to have work comp. So we are registered with the Department of Labor, and Department of Labor is a policy holder.
Yeah.
So renewal date was like May 31st, whatever, and it didn't renew, and we didn't know. So immediately we went through audit, and we tried to get new policy in place, but it takes like a week or so.
Yeah.
So Department of Labor caught it. So they call us and say, Dmitry, you can't be in business. You have to pretty much stop selling, stop working. And it was early on in the season. We did not do any work, so we were not installing anything. But Department of Labor in Minnesota, this is government for you, told me you cannot advertise, you cannot go do any business. We're like, well, we're a $5 million business. How can I stop advertising? I have like 10 leads tomorrow, right? But here's the Department of Labor for you. Out of all the marketing out there, the only thing they check is Craigslist. So they go on Craigslist and see if you have ads. We don't advertise on Craigslist. But two weeks prior to it, I have a guaranteed leads guy calls me. Actually found him on Facebook, one of the groups. Very aggressive guys. Like, man, I guarantee you like 10 leads for like $500 or something, like $50 a lead. I'm like, how do you get them? Well, we have our methods, we don't disclose it. I'm like, fine. So I hire him, pay him $500.
I kind of want to know the methods, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. So like Facebook, this, so pay guy $500. Didn't think much about it. He sent me one or two leads, wherever. Here's what happened. Department of Labor sent me a cease and desist letter with a screenshot of a Craigslist ad. So this guy was I think in Las Vegas or somewhere in Nevada, somewhere, and you can see, so we tracked it by Craigslist ID number where it was created. So he creates ad, not our phone number. So it's a Google number, redirects to us. So what he did, he created Craigslist ads out of state that redirect to our phone. He was recording phone calls and charging me for essentially like $50, maybe $100 per lead on the Craigslist ads, but he did not tell me it was Craigslist ads. Funny enough, Department of Labor only checks Craigslist, so they go on the Craigslist and they tap Storm Group Roofing, they see an ad.
Yeah.
So they screenshot it, they send us official letter from Department of Labor saying, here's the ad, you can't advertise, it's a $10,000 penalty.
Oof.
And I'm looking at it, it's not my number,
it's
not my pictures, the ad is horrible copy, horrible I would never approve it. And
well, that's the control, that's the loss of control that happens.
Exactly, but you don't know. This is guaranteed leads for you. So guys, when people advertise to you or promote, ask them how they're gonna get there. Is it a call center? Is it a Facebook ads? Is it a Craigslist ads? Is it a landing page? How they gonna get it? So check this out. I sent it to my lawyer, and we fought it easily. We dismissed it because I did not own unless you can prove that I created this ad. You can clearly see, you can do investigation. Craigslist will confirm that it's out of Nevada. I don't live in Nevada. I don't know who created this ad. To this day, to be honest with you, I don't know who created the ad. The only person who could do it was that company. Which is, they never confirmed either. It was the weirdest, most awkward thing I've ever experienced in my life. I was ashamed of that ad. Someone created it, and I almost got in trouble. And Department of Labor were pushing $100,000 fine for. But check this out. At that time I was on Angels List, advertising heavily, pay-per-click, website everywhere. I'm like, guys, this is like 0.1% of my advertising, and the government does not care. It's like you have ad on Craigslist, it's $100,000 fine.
That's crazy. I want to make sure that this is still recording here. 1 second.
Literally, you can sabotage somebody's company that way.
No, exactly.
Sure, you can.
So, guaranteed. I'm gonna pop back into here. I'm just got my cut. Guaranteed leads is a very attractive thing, though. If you're a contractor, particularly if you're in your first 5 years and you don't have a brand yet, you're just trying to push it up, right? You're You're looking out there, you're looking for leads, you see guaranteed leads, get 17 leads in the next 24 hours, or, something crazy like that. There's all these really crazy gimmicks to get you in the door. So why should a contractor resist that when it's so attractive? Why not go for it? Why not take a shot? I'll be honest. Sure. I've tried crazy shit before. There's something like that for marketers, and I've tried it. I've just, hey, what is this? I don't know. I'm gonna take a shot.
Well, here's my take on it. What I teach in roofing school is you have to spend money on marketing regardless, but you have to use it of your budget, of your sales. So I recommend 5%. So you do 100,000 in sales, spend 5,000 back on marketing. The truth is 50% of your marketing dollar is not going to work, not going to give you results. The problem is you don't know which half. Mm-hmm. You just don't know. Yeah. You don't know if you're wasting money on Facebook today or Google. Yeah. Sooner or later, you will be wasting money somewhere. Before you turn off TV ads or billboards, you have to look at the data that doesn't work anymore. It doesn't happen overnight. So like I've done print. You can do print, $5,000 print in 1 month. You'll have 25 leads, and next month you might have 1. You'll have to look at the data. But what I teach is always go with the 5% and spend your 5% on what works. So let's say I did a roofing marketing guide. There's 18 platforms I reviewed, and I said top 9 works for me, top lower 9 don't work for me. But if you have only $5,000,
put the link in the show notes, by the way, for that.
But if you only have $5,000 and that $5,000 will give you a result on number 1, number 2, number 3, you don't have extra money, don't go on number 4, number 5. Now, if you have, let's say you're doing $1 million a month. Just yesterday we were in the Rapid Roofing in Michigan. They have $1 million a month in May. So they spend 7-8% on marketing. So if you have $1 million a month, you can easily spend $50,000. Now, maybe from that $50,000, try new things. The problem I have with the guys, especially newer guys, they get pushed into the sale. So if I call you and say, man, I have 25 guaranteed leads, it's guaranteed. Do you want to buy it? Well, the guy is broke. You don't have money. You can't justify. Now you go spend $5,000. Yeah. You don't have money to buy materials. You're spending it because you're hoping you're gonna get sales from it.
Don't desperate spend on marketing.
Exactly. It's okay to try it, and I've tried new things. Once you have money, go try things. Go try that promise. Maybe it will work. Yeah. Maybe it won't. You can't be skeptical to everything, but you have to have money. You have to be conservative.
Is Waxman a guaranteed leads guy?
Yes. So, don't get waxed.
Don't get waxed.
That's how he sold. 150 people.
Let's give him a little bit more promo. Yeah. You're probably giving him more promo than he's ever gotten in his life. Claim nerds. Right?
Claim nerds. Yeah. The
same what thing. Is his method? Is it calling?
It's everything. So it's calling.
Some of them actually use claim nerds. I think he rips people off. But.
Yeah, well, it's so
I need that cease and desist too, bro.
I interviewed him, right? I asked him, how many clients did you have? He said 150. I asked him, can you give me 3 positive testimonials? Yeah. He gave me 2. Yeah. I called both. Both of them would not hire him again. Out of 150. Yeah. And anywhere from $500 transaction to $2,500 transaction. And he's still in business, he still does stuff. So that's the marketer for you. Yeah. Like I want you to actually have referral list. I want you to have people who will back you up. Here's the thing about marketers. If you're good, people, if you ask me, Dmitry, who works, who doesn't work, I have a list who works and I'll recommend. The problem with marketers, most of them don't work. Yeah. I've tried 5 call centers. Honestly, I can't recommend any one of them. Because when I do, it's not like they screw people, they just don't deliver results. Yeah. And there's always hassle. And when people call and say, Dmitry, it's too much work. If it takes you, 10 appointments to get 1, it's too much work. Yeah. It's a waste of time. There's better ways to do it. If you spend this money on Google or Facebook or your own leads, you might get 10 calls, but you will see 5-6 people or get 5-6 sales. When you get 10 leads from outsource and you only do 1,
they're trash.
It's a waste of time, and time is money.
And your salespeople's time is worth a lot. And you can burn them out, right? Like with those kind of leads, you can burn them out.
Easy.
So that's probably
it's opportunity cost. If you're running those leads, you're not running this leads.
So my take is to build your brand long term and that kind of thing. And we know that there's differences a little bit on the retail side versus the storm damage side. So, we understand that there is opportunity to be had in quick dashes in an area where it was hit by a storm, but I love the idea of building your brand. I think it's good. We do it with content marketing and web design. And I do know that at the end of the day, you want to own your marketing system stuff. And you can use people, but you don't, different companies and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you want to own it. You want to know your lead sources, that kind of thing. I'm going to wrap this up because I think we're getting to half an hour here.
I have one ending note.
Yeah.
The system that works great for both parties, contractors and homeowners. This is a game changer. Only few do it, and not many willing to do it. But it fixes everything in guaranteed leads. You know what it is?
What is it?
Charge per results.
Yeah.
So not many are willing to do it. But if companies like Home Advisor will charge on result, like you meet the homeowners, like on a transaction of if you got a sale or after you meet the homeowner.
Yeah.
Now, contractor will never fire marketer who actually give him results. So if you give me 10 leads and actually run all 10 of them, and you want to send me bill for $1,000, dude, I will be stupid not to pay it because I'm not going to get 10 more leads.
Yeah.
Nobody in their mind will do it, and marketers always push back, and it's like, no, we lost so much money because we don't get paid. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Be selective with a good contractor like myself and a lot of guys in my network. Contractor will always pay for results.
Yeah.
It just marketer have to work a little bit harder and deliver results.
Yeah.
It changes everything.
I'll keep this candid and bring it in here. My question to that is, here's the idea. When you're a marketer, it's kind of like being Shark Tank sometimes. And you're like trying to see who's the legitimate business owner, and it's hard. It's hard to do that, man. Sometimes you're accidentally, you know what I mean. Like you sign a contractor that's like a one guy shop. Like I shouldn't be doing. We shouldn't be doing work for a one guy shop or like that chuck in a truck type thing.
I agree.
But sometimes those people come by, and we don't know. As it's hard to be clear. Like we don't always fly out to our clients, and we have contractors all around the country, so it's hard. So. That is the one hard part is like I don't know who's legitimate, and I really like marketing for guys that have a ton of initiative and they're also doing a lot for their marketing. They don't expect us to be the only thing. We're like a backpack, jetpack kind of thing. You know what I mean? We're not the hero. We're just helping. You know what I mean? So that's my one take on that because the.
But if you charge on the results, you can't lose.
Yeah.
Because you get paid when you do get a result.
Yeah.
Like for example, the Roofing Insights directory.
Yeah.
If I deliver 100 leads to the contractor, they'll never leave directory.
Yeah.
Why would they? It works. They get something for it.
So tell everybody about that before we round out the podcast here. What is this, and how do they find it if you're a contractor?
It's just roofinginsights.com/directory. Pretty much, if you're in our network, we back you up. If I let you in, I guarantee I don't give bad referrals. So if homeowner calls me from New York saying I need a roofer, and I recommend a roofer in New York, I want to be liable for it. So if that roofer screws up, I feel like it's my liability. Like, I don't understand how Home Advisor or BBB do business where you can go find scammer who will take your money, run away, and then they're like, well, I found him on Home Advisor. Home Advisor's like, it's not my business. Like, I want it to be my business. If I make a recommendation, I want to make sure that it's a good recommendation. If it's bad, if he steals $2,000 from you, I want to give you $2,000. Say, hey, I'm sorry. I'm going to deal with this guy. It's not your problem. I want my word to worth something.
Yeah.
That's what we do different.
Awesome. And is there any, do you want to just give people your social channels so they can follow you if they don't
Just
already?
Roofing Insights. Go anywhere like Instagram, LinkedIn. If you type in social Roofing Insights, YouTube channel, obviously, you'll see me.
Awesome. And I'm sure a lot of guys follow your stuff as well. But podcast is put on by Hook Agency, hookagency.com, agency all over social. Thanks for listening, and talk to you next week. Bye.